Filer, the graphic artist and UI programmer at TFDi Design.
Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new Miles Flight video. Today I'm live streaming and soon we'll be uploading this video of the TFDi Design 717 first public flight.
What we've been working on for the last about just over 3 years now.
So we're going to watch
today.
this.
Now I want a couple
I'm just going to
address a couple of elephants in the room before we go any further. Today's flight is going to be VFR, and I do have my landing gear switch up. Let's fix that. But today's flight is going to be VFR.
Don't want that.
And the reason for that is, although we do have some navigational equipment, we do have the FMS mostly coded now. It is installed, as we've said in our blog and other things modularly before. It is not actually present in the aircraft at the moment, though the systems are being coded separately. So, that being said, we're going to do this flight VFR between Papa Hotel Lima, India and Papa Hotel Oscar Golf today over in Hawaii. We're going to take some time at the end of the stream, likely, and as it's ever fit throughout the stream, to answer any questions that come up that we've had via social media or here in the chat or anything like that. And that's pretty much it. We've got some things we want to address and some things we'd like to show everybody, and some of the methodology we've used in this plane to introduce everybody, and pretty much let you guys see what we haven't been showing you while we were preparing it for this, essentially, because this is now our pre-beta build, not beta. Like I said, this is an in-development product, as you can tell by the disclaimer in the bottom. Things are still going to be subject to change.
And also the little in-up sticky note.
At this time, we're also getting ready to connect up to VATSIM here. We'll be doing that throughout the flight, kind of showing it more in a realistic environment.
All right.
And Brandon, that'll be your cue to also get ready.
I'm noticing I've only seen buffering.
The weather today, we're going to be flying through clear skies. And also, we're going to be just... In case you're wondering, Lahui to Kahalui International Airport.
Lahui.
And to answer one of the questions in chat, Brandon, why don't you go ahead and move the visor out of the way for me?
Oh yeah, sure.
If that answers your question, gentlemen. I guess the biggest thing that we'll start with right now is this plane we built around the idea of a true connected flight deck. Not just the idea of, oh, let's connect and hopefully somebody will hit the right switch and maybe it won't desync today and... No, none of that. There's no way you have to sit here and hit all the same switches before you connect and start from cold and dark and all of that stuff that has been standard in connected flight deck. Two planes, completely different state, you can connect and instantly you're in the same state, you are ready to fly, you are flying the same plane. Either side can hit any switch, either side is in total control with the exception of the primary flight controls for, latency purposes, but outside of that, it truly is a multi-crew aircraft.
Gosh.
Can be flown without it, of course, but why would you want to do that when you can fly with a crew?
Right, right.
So
I've actually been looking for someone to fly Airbus or Leonardo Mad Dog.
Now, we're going to get a chance to talk about some of the quirky things in this plane today. This plane does have its interesting little features, if you want to call them, and some of them have already been reported to us as bugs.
And probably the stand-up compasses with the mirror in the back.
The first thing that we're going to talk about is the fact that the displays seem like they're broken throughout the first 2 minutes. I will be showing that here. The vias on this plane have to boot up from cold, and it's a very slow process. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this here. And don't mind the in-off saver here for this. This is actually very simple to code, but we got the assets we needed for it too close to the stream. We wanted to make sure everything was nice and solid, so it's stickered out for now. Have to let maintenance know about that.
Break.
Noticing some similarities between
verifying I've still got flight
the
authority.
Leonardo
I don't know if you guys saw it in the chat, but about
the Mad Dog
3 minutes before the stream, my joystick decided it was done working today. So I have now plugged in my old dusty Zytec yoke, and I'm making sure that that doesn't have any problems during the flight. But I may have to hold it to my desk while I'm trying to fly, so I may not be the most accurate flyer as it is.
Then you go to the MD-90, and then MD-95.
May not be the most accurate pilot as it is, and now with a half-attached yoke, it's going to make it a very interesting flight. So that's that's
very detailed cockpit. I like it. I really like it.
The last crew.
Yeah, everything looks
there we go.
Very good.
Our left three displays are finally up. We'll go ahead and get APU started here. Now, there are some cockpit switch sounds, as you can hear. Not all of them are there just yet. We have about 70% of them, but we're working on holding it down. We'll go into that later on. I'll explain it in more detail. But
very interesting.
I do want to show everybody here. We'll just go and let APU start up here and
I like it.
And listen in.
Let's listen to this wonderful APU sound.
Waiting for the inlet door to open.
Gosh, they really did model. There it goes. So cool. And sounds are provided by Turbine Sound Studios, TSS. Yeah, so they make sounds for every plane you can think of, basically. But they made sounds
APU starting
for
up
this
here.
plane now.
This is actually not the engine. This is the APU, guys.
Which comes with the aircraft, usually. I assume that's what they're going to do with this aircraft as well. Gosh, it looks just amazing. Take a look at the chat.
Alright, so now, with that taken care of, go ahead and get everything on here.
Sounds very
there we go.
nice.
That looks a little more useful.
Wow.
The APU sound actually, all the engine sounds
I'm gonna leave it
today,
like
and the
this.
APU sound included, have been provided to us courtesy of TSS. And working with him has been absolutely awesome. The sound qualities he's provided us have been great, and it's been awesome collaborating with him. So I just want to give them a little shout out for that. Similarly, as we talked about with the FMS, the IRS is partly simulated, as you can tell by the fact that we don't have attitude and heading information, and our air data stuff is a little scaled back. Yeah, no, also our seat positions are a little high. There's actually a view selector in this plane here that when you look down this helps you figure out where you're sitting. Ours has got to be
Also another
changed a
quirk
bit,
on the
but
MD-80.
it's there. So we'll go ahead and quick
Yeah.
line the IRS.
Aligning the RS, we're going to get onto the FNC, FMS, what do they call it on the 717? Gonna go with FMS.
It's a little abbreviated for now. Again, obviously we will be simulating the IRS and the alignment through the MCDU as it would be done in the real plane. We already have the code to simulate the ADIRUs. They're just shortened for the time being while the FMS position is pre-entered. And acknowledge our master caution here. So I want to turn it over to Brandon for a little while here to see if there's anything you'd want to say so far. I'm gonna ramble on and on unless somebody cuts me off. So.
Well, I don't know if anyone caught on when you were outside earlier, but we do indeed have a new livery that we have not shown off yet.
Oh, that grammar.
Huh?
Sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, we around the time that we started our rebranding of TFDi Design a couple months back, we decided to look into what an official TFDi house livery looks like, and ended up coming up with what you see now.
Awesome.
We do have the experimental markings on the side for the flights. We are not done yet. Alrighty, so let's actually go ahead and establish contact here and get a mic check with center. Our buddy's over in Hawaii here helping us out with that.
Let's take a look.
Now, I'll have to ask the viewers, would you guys want us to keep any air traffic control coming through the stream so you can hear it too, or would you rather us mute that so it won't be distracting? Because I'm kind of half in the middle on that. So you have to let me know which would work better for you guys.
Yeah, I'm seeing just yes. Just yes.
Somebody actually asked about the flight controls. Indeed, the real plane's flight controls are actually aerodynamically positioned. So I can move the yoke all day long, and we can't do anything. The only exception to that rule is the stabilizer, which if we pressurize the hydraulics, we can push it down, but it can't come back up again. Now that it's down, that's where it's going to stay for the time being until we get enough airspeed to pull it back up. That's so if you stall, the stick pusher can help you recover.
Okay.
Alright, we'll go ahead and make contact with ATC like I had said, and then we'll go from there. Feel free to ask questions or make comments about the flight. I'll be perfectly honest with everybody, this is actually the first time we've shown this plane off in any kind of a live situation, so this is our first aircraft, so this is uncharted territory for us as much as it is for everybody watching. So share your input with us. If you'd like to see us do things, like to ask questions, now's the time. With the exception of release date and beta date, there's not a whole lot we're not going to answer at this point because we're now lifting the lid off of our internal development.
And also, if you're interested, there's a couple of frequently asked questions we posted below the stream. Like, will it have an FNC? How in-depth it'll be? Stuff like that. There's a couple in there. Feel free to look at those. We've already answered a couple of them.
It's just want to know if there's a Midwest Airlines livery, because I've been looking for
Oh,
one.
and I'm sorry, guys. I have to switch my push-to-talk key
For
thanks
the
to my
Leonardo
joystick
Mad
deciding
Dog.
it was done.
I can't find a single one. Cannot find a single one.
Honolulu
Yes.
Center or TFDi 1, mic check.
It's just, oops.
I have to switch my push-to-talk key thanks to my joystick deciding it was done.
Flightsim.com.
He may read us, but I don't read him. Oh boy.
It's a good point. Did you use an in-service 717 for research, or did you
Vera
use
City
a
asked, will it be
decommissioned
considered a
one?
study-level aircraft? I would say so. Absolutely. There has been some talk about it, and we've been a bit ambiguous with the way we've explained how we'll be simulating abnormal conditions. We're not doing failures in the sense that your left generator relay can fail. That's not something that'll happen in ours. But if you were to turn off the left relay in flight and lose power to your left AC system,
Nope.
let's say, the equipment that would
Push it
fail
on the
without the
phones
left
there.
AC system will no longer work. You'll see those indications on the displays. You'll see those systems fail. So that's...
TFDi 1, good afternoon, Honolulu Center. My apologies, sir. Readability 5x5 loud and clear.
Okay, now he's a little louder than I was expecting before. Roger that. Thank you, TFDi 1. We'll be with you soon.
Colin.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for later streams, are we going to be showing off different liveries as well?
I would think so, yes.
Okay.
I think that'd be cool.
So, I don't know, the term
Rip
study level
ears.
sim has come about recently, too. Over the last, I think, 6 months, I've heard it about 100 times, and before that, never heard it before. So I don't know who started that, but... And I know, I'm having a hard time getting the volume leveling here for VATSIM. I apologize, guys. VATSIM was actually a bit of a last-minute choice. We had friends who were willing to help us and provide coverage through the flight, and we wanted to show it flying in a more practical environment than just a perfect, you know,
So-
sandbox. That's why we liked to do that. If it becomes cumbersome or annoying throughout the flight, we will disconnect. Not because we can't handle it, obviously, but because we want to make sure the stream isn't annoying.
So I have been on a 717 once that I know
And
of.
somebody made a comment about incorrect cockpit geometry. The majority of the cockpit has been fixed. There are still pieces here and there that are wrong. Like I said, this is not finished.
And
This
then
isn't even the full beta model yet.
Midwest
This
Airlines is going over to New
still
York
to
from
be
Kansas
corrected
City. I
before
don't
it's
know
finished. Especially, you know,
what
there's a
aircraft.
couple
I know
listed
it was either an
elements, we call them,
MD-80
with
or a
switches
717.
on the
But
overhead and things like that.
all that I
They
know,
work,
I've been on
but
the
they're not
717
quite where we
one
want 'em yet.
time.
So, our flight plan for today is going to be, like I said, PHLI to PHOG. We'll go ahead and get things ready to get started here. So
And
plenty of
dog
time
buffer.
for the APU air to become available. Before I drain the battery, let me go ahead and recycle emergency power. To show off some of our systems. Actually show off the test and all that cool stuff.
Fire, left engine. APU fire. Fire, right engine.
I like the sounds. I
All
really
right.
like the sounds.
And I guess, Brendan, is there anything, any ideas, anything you'd like to say before we get ready to go here?
I'm good for now. Are you connected to VATSIM under the current tail number? Because
I'm
showing
TFDi 1.
Oh, whoops, I'm unintelligent.
Alrighty. Also, I guess we'll talk about this. I get to show this off to you before we get too far into this. I've been asked about this a couple times. If we turn on one of the packs, you'll notice we have this sound that actually quiets down in the cockpit. This thing has fans behind the instrument panel that when there's no airflow from the packs, turn on to help keep the displays cool and prevent them from literally burning out and becoming inoperable. So, in the real plane, regardless of whether or not you actually have airflow, turning those switches on will cause the fans to turn off, so you got to be careful with that. In this case, we do have packed air pressure, or no, we don't. There we go. See? Glad I checked. Okay, now we're good. I just like the sound of the switch, honestly. Alrighty, I'd say we'll go ahead and get ready for
I like it too.
pushback here. Right, I guess pushback may not be the right term. Push the light buttons for the sake of completeness. The on light doesn't show up just yet. We kind of do everything in waves. So we worked on the electrical system first, and then we worked on the, I think it was the hydraulics next, and then the fuel, and then we did some with the air system, some with the engine, some more with the air system, some of the displays, So you'll notice there's areas that look very complete and thorough, and then some that are totally blank. That's not because it's not really an indication of how far along we are. It's just that we haven't focused on that area yet. A lot of them, like the lights and things like that, are really only a week or two worth of work, which is why we're not stressing out about them. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get it ready to go here. We'll go over different systems and things that anybody asks or that I feel like is important to share, or Brandon wants to share, or Josh wants to share later on, and over there. I really just want to show everybody it flying, because we have yet to show any screenshots, pictures, or videos of it in the air. Today will be the first time we actually get to see that happen.
Would you like to show some of the synoptic
So
displays?
basically,
Sure.
when
Yeah. Well, let's see what the viewers want. Would you rather us get up in the air and we'll show you some of the stuff while we're flying, or do you want to see more on the ground? We'll do some more now before things start getting hectic.
I'll do while flying. Close enough. Spelled it close enough.
We actually
yeah.
did lower the camera to the one asking us about the camera height. I moved it down a little bit already. The viewpoint is a little bit awkward, and we've got. All right, seems like everybody wants us to do it while flying, so let's get it ready to go. All right.
Tired.
Electric looks good. All right.
Looks like it's gonna be a very,
All right,
very
Brandon,
good
you wanna go
aircraft.
ahead and,
Finally,
pull the right
a
starter for me?
717 for FSX.
You ready?
Yep.
So basically, when like Boeing or Airbus releases new aircraft, like let's say the 737 Max.
Yes, this does have the TSS sound pack currently.
So
My sounds.
They'll do
I've
like
always got
a-
my volume a little weird in my sim, so if it's not 100% right yet.
yeah, so they'll
don't
do
worry
like
too much about that. That's
a
customizable.
first flight
They'll
and
get
then have
reviewed
a
in
public
before
audience.
flying.
This is basically
Now,
what
it
that
hanging
is.
here at
This is the
N2,
first flight
23%
of the
or so is not
717
actually
in
unrealistic.
FSX.
This is the EEC holding off on the start for us here. There it goes. 2D panels. Okay. This is an awkward question for us. We're not doing a full 2D panel set. I'll come right out and say that. We're not going to have a full 2D cockpit.
Good.
Some pop-ups for
VC all the
frequently
way.
used areas that are used on other screens or for things like that, yes. The displays will be able to be popped up to use on on a tablet or something like that if you want to, but the entire panel will not exist there. To fly everts, yes. Brandon and I are both flying the same plane right now. This is a connected flight deck flight, or we're calling our shared cockpit connected flight deck. There was Aerosoft's term. It just kind of become standard. But yes, that is us. Brandon, if you want to go ahead and pull the left fuel pump for me here, the left fuel switch. I'm gonna get our fuel pumps running here.
I've already asked.
There is a terrain radar, but it's not in this build currently. Correct, Colin?
Correct. Terrain radar and WXR are both. Actually, the WXR is functional already, but I've disabled it because it's not 100% ready yet. That is courtesy of the Rex Milviz weather radar that we worked on them with, and that's a very cool thing to see.
It is. I've gone to see it, guys, and trust me, it's gonna be awesome. We'll show it next stream, maybe.
Will there be an escape slide?
Yes. People must be pouring in here because I keep getting the shared cockpit question. Yes, there is a shared cockpit. We're flying with it right now.
Actually lost about
Currently, I'm
60
getting.
views.
Well, I'm streaming with
60.
OBS. I'm getting a little around 30 with the mouse in the cockpit, but my computer is also not necessarily the best for flight sim anymore. It's been many years.
Would you like what do you have in your computer right now, so people can kind of compare their computer to it?
I have an i7 30 something,
I have an i5.
3700K. I think it's a couple years old, and the GTX 670 and 8 gigs of RAM. Well, it doesn't matter. But
GTX 670.
the important thing to note here is I'm on Skype, broadcasting, watching the broadcast kinda through
Doesn't
the
matter.
preview window, and trying to fly this thing all at the same time. So it's not what the performance you see here is not indicative
Take a
of what you'll
look
get,
at it.
both because of your computer, because you won't be doing everything I'm doing, and because it's going to get reviewed more before release. Nothing you see here today is final. This is actually your time. If you have anything you'd like to say, now's your time to let us know, because we're not 100% done yet. We're about less than that. I hate giving numbers. So
Oh, this is a fun question, Colin. Has there ever been something in the plane that we had difficulty getting information for, and we almost came close to giving up on it?
yes, the engine performance, as a matter of fact, FSX's engine performance on EPR ratings is abysmal, and we have done everything we can to get information from the engine manufacturer, airlines, whatever we can come up with to get more accurate numbers for those, and that's been a witch hunt so far. Also to Air Daddy, the switches on the overhead, yes, they are they're literally just wrapped in a steel paint at this point. They are not finished yet. Some of them are capped off the way they should be. They're not capped off the way they should be. No, absolutely, yes, it's a VTOL aircraft, because they all are. It's like the real ones, right? No, JIPWIS, yes, we have most of the, I'd say about 70% of the JIPWIS callers are there, though the test switch doesn't work yet, as I wanted to finish the JIPWIS system first. Like I said, this is not a finished product yet.
Also, if you're interested in entering into the giveaway for the 717 when it releases, go ahead and type the exclamation point first, or type the command exclamation point first flight into chat, and you'll be entered automatically.
It's very nice.
Maybe a few shutting down there a little bit in the background. Nice aircraft, I like that.
Like
There
it.
will be a fully functional FMC. As of now, the flight management system is there but disabled from user input, so we can click it all day long, and it's not going to do anything at this moment.
Will the cockpit windows be animated? That I'm not entirely sure if we will yet. It depends on if we can get the proper resources to see how they open. It's a decently complex mechanism, and if we can't do it right, then we tend to not do it. That's kind of pretty much been our policy on this plane. So yeah, it's just going to depend on if we can get
Navigraph
proper
database.
efforts
Someone
we need
asked.
for that.
Over there for
questions
the
I saw, all
compatible
three, actually.
with
Virtual
Navigraph.
cabin, no. For the sake of performance, we want to make sure the cockpit can be complete and accurate and detailed without worrying about it hitting any kind of limits or memory or anything like that, and cabins add a lot to it. As far as the load manager goes, that will be done. There will be an external load manager. You can pre-flight the aircraft, specify what you're flying. It'll also have the option to, while you're in the sim, of course, set your new loadout between flights and whatnot and everything like that. What systems anything have we not been able to do? Let's make that. Most viewers I've ever seen in a flight sim stream. Hey, that's an accolade. If that's true, that's an accolade we will gladly accept. Oh, that is. Thank you, whoever said that. We appreciate that. This is. We couldn't be happier so far. This is better than we were hoping for, honestly.
What's the progress on the overall VC textures? It's a majority of the textures are done. Most of what's left is just to go over some knobs and switches. Primarily, a lot of the push buttons and knobs will get new textures, but for the most part, a lot of the major work on accuracy has been done on the VC already.
Somebody asked, we've got a couple questions about performance, which of course is a huge deal. You know what, actually guys, Josh, you do me a favor, can you field some important questions for me? I want to get this stream rolling here, or else we could talk all day, because you've got so much to share. I want to get us rolling here and get us in the air, and I'm not going to be able to answer questions while I'm taxiing out and everything. So if you could start prepping us some good questions, please remember who asked them so I can address them correctly, and then we'll
Actually, I'm going to throw a link out in chat to everyone. This is a Facebook link. We have a discussion opened up for everyone to submit their questions. If you want to have a high chance of your question being answered or something like that, for me to remember it. Chat's going by super fast, so I'm not going to be able to get all that information, but if you post it in there, I'm going to be going through there later and selecting a few questions to ask them. Probably quite a few. So go ahead and go here and check it out and give us your questions and let us know, and we'll go ahead and say your name or not. You let us know in the comments, say if you want us to say your name or not, and we'll go ahead and ask some questions and answer them.
Is it over already?
No, I hate to ask, but how is it? Lahui? Lahui is what it is?
Lahui, yeah.
Lahui, okay. Yeah. I've been joking around calling it Lahui, and I almost called it that legitimately, and that would be great. Alright, so it looks like we have Lahui Tower now, which is even better, so.
Oh, cool.
Fantastic.
I've never seen them online before on Batsim, so.
I think our buddies
one question I did want to answer, this project, we will have started, about, when we hit August of this year, it will have been 4 years since we started the project.
Wow. I want to look at something real quick.
There we go, Lahui Tower.
Just want to see how far along this project is.
We will be showing night lighting at a later stream, not in this stream.
Josh, correct me if I'm wrong here. We're going to be traveling roughly east from this point, right?
Correct. You're going to be traveling east to Maui. So.
Roger that. Alrighty.
Maui. Not Honolulu.
Livery Tower, TFDi 1 ready for taxi. And I think I just stepped on somebody. Oh, great. Gotta love it.
Even developers will step on people. Sorry, guys.
TFDi 1, Livery Tower. Good afternoon. Runway 3, taxi via Alpha, Mike, altimeter 3012.
Roger, taxi via Mike Alpha, altimeter 3012, runway 3, TFDi 1. Brandon, you want to go ahead and give us, we'll stab trim 0, that's fine. Want to go ahead and give us flaps 13?
Sure.
Hopefully I can make this turn. Come on, man.
Differential brake.
No, I'm barely even moving. I have my dude, I have my rudder slammed to the floor. We're gonna be going runway 03, so. That makes us happy when, you know, somebody, if you call yourself a critic and you're telling us you like this plane, that makes us happy. Tell you what, we've spent a lot of time focusing on doing this plane how we think it should be done, not what others have done, not what the standard is. And he said runway 03, so I want to go this way. Okay. Yeah, this plane actually flies differently than you're expecting. I guarantee you that. It's now that we've had a couple of revisions with our flight dynamics guy and some time to really review how the flight controls respond and everything.
Shoot.
It's been an interesting plane to learn to fly. The tiller.